Gardening with Marnie. Thank you for tuning in today, and let me show you how to make a garden pot for your balcony to enjoy all summer long. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. We start with a pot, dirt, and flowers. Lots of choices, so think carefully about the size of the pot that you want to work with, the color of the pot for your space. Do you want to pop a color? Get a colorful one. You want something to sink into the background? Get a dark gray or black container. The color of the flowers will speak for themselves. So what we have here, I'm just going to fill this pot here today, and we have, right now I've got some dirt rocks in the bottom of the pot. We have to allow good drainage, especially in a container pot. It's very important to do that. So I have rocks already in here, and then we get potting soil, and I buy potting soil that has Miracle-Gro potting soil. It's great. It will make your flowers bloom quicker and longer, and it already has all the fertilizer and all you need in it, so you don't have to worry too much about that. So just get yourself a scoop, start scooping in the dirt. And what you want to do when you're thinking about container gardening is that you want to think about the size of the plants and what you want hanging over the plants. I usually like to have a variety. I like to have a center focal point plant, and it can be just a variegated plant or something like that, or else you could do like a tall geranium of that sort. But you need to have a fair amount of height in the center of the pot just to give it a focal point. And then the other things you want to think about is what do you want to creep over the sides. One thing about container gardens, are really nice when you have flowers hanging over the side. I chose today a creeping Jenny, which is great. It grows in so many climates and it's really good. And it looks pretty. It's just green, but it's really pretty. I also have a creeping purple petunia today, just to give it a little bit of color down the sides. And so that will be nice to a nice visual. Anyway, so we've got the dirt in here, and I'm going to go and I'm going to start with the big center item in the center. This is a flax lily variegata, and what you do when you're potting your plants, you want to make sure that you are loosening the soil here. When you buy them from the nursery, they've been in those pots for a while and they need some room to breathe. So I kind of gently put that in there and tap it down a little bit. You're going to be putting more dirt around it to steady it up. And so we start with that. So here we have our center upright plant, and we're going to build all around it with the color that I've chosen. The next thing that I'll do is I'm going to do a creeping petunia going around the sides. And I bought a big plant so I can separate it out. So what I'll do, I'm going to empty this out, and I'm going to break this apart, and all of this will come into separate little pieces. Usually it comes apart a little bit easier than this, but this has been entwined for a while. So we got a nice little chunk of purple right here, and I'm going to stick that in one of the corners. I'm tapping that down, and I'm going to take another section of this. I bought enough to do 2 of these, but I'll only do 1 of them for you. And I'm putting this on the opposite side. So now we've got some nice little interest going on here with color, just for the pot. The next plant that I'm going to put in here are a little bit of, let me take that back. I'm going to put the creeping Jenny on the other side. So I have 2 petunias on one side and the creeping Jenny will go on the other side. And again, don't be afraid to be a little tough with it. Plants are hardy. And they're just going to be happy to be watered after all of this and start doing their thing. So there we go. We've got creeping Jenny, we got petunias, and the flax lily up here. Now I want to add a little pop of color of white. This is a little bit higher, and this is a candy tuft. And I'm just going to rip off some of the long roots. You don't need all the roots in there, but just make sure that you're always opening up these roots so that they can go down into your pot. And you don't have to do this with gloves on. It's actually fun getting your fingernails dirty, but if you have painted fingernails, do wear the gloves. Here we go, we got a little bit of white there. And I'm gonna do one exactly on the opposite side. I like symmetry, a lot of people don't, but so you can feel free whether you like to be asymmetrical or symmetrical. That's certainly, it's an entire choice up to you. All right, here's candy tuft number 2 going in the pot. And you're gonna press everything down in there. I'm working my fingers into the dirt, pressing it down so that it has a nice little hold into its place. Now the last little thing, and it's not really necessary, but I felt we needed a little pop of coral in here. So I have this impatiens, begonia impatiens, that likes to grow very fast and hardily. And, well, this one is being a little stubborn. It doesn't want to dig apart, so I'm going to use one of my tools here. And this is just a little spade separating the plants apart. So there we go. And we're just going to put the pop of color right in here. Or not. It looks like it's being a little stubborn with the space we have. I might have overplanted this container, but I'm going to try to work it in here nonetheless. Nope, I've decided I don't like this. I don't think we need it. It's looks like we might have plenty in there. So it's always nice just to, if you have a plan, you can always go on to a plan B. So I might choose down the road to get another smaller plant. That impatiens was a little bit on the big side. So I'm going to put a little Dusty Miller in there just for a little added floral to it, little texture. So in that spot that I had already dug the hole, I'm just going to put, this is kind of a nice little silvery gray. It kind of shines at nighttime, which is really nice. And then what I do after I get things planted, I walk away from them, I look at it from all angles, and I say to myself, what has to be done? What's missing? What don't I like? What works? What doesn't work? So I'm going to put this up on the table so I can get a better view. I will play with it a little bit more. And I actually think I've got enough of the that I might put another purple petunia here, just because I think the petunia looks spectacular, and I've got more of it. I always have a tendency to overbuy plants so that I can play around with them. And at my house, there's no shortage of plants to put pots in. Alrighty. So that looks a little nicer. We got the petunia all the way around. And voila, we have a container garden. And I'm just gonna throw some water in it. And it's important to remember to water the soil, not so much the plants. We just need to get to the dirt. And you wanna do this daily for the first week or so, just to make sure everything's rooting in there really nicely. And we're gonna call it a wrap. Thank you, visit again.